In this video, I'm going to be designing this, and um, first of all, I would like to warn you to be ready to hear background sounds a lot in this video because a lot of people are at home and I am recording this from my home studio. But then also, this is not basically the kind of design area I am into. It's not the kind of niche I am in, but sometimes I dabble into this. So let us just get into it and see how we are going to be arriving at this image. So with Photoshop open, I have already created a 16:9 background, and right now I'm making it a sped up art. It's actually going to be a sped up art all through so that it saves your time. And I've already cropped the subject and the aeroplane, and then I'm putting PNG images of clouds, just setting it around just somewhere that I feel they will fit in. Next, I brushed away some parts of her and also brought a little bit of cloud and kept up on it. I tried to use some brushes, but the kind of brushes I had didn't fit what I wanted to get, so I just left that, and then I placed the aeroplane in the background, looking for a very suitable place to fit it in. And I created some haze around that area so that it will have a little bit of contrast. Then I brushed out the model's body out more and adjusted it to fit the light angle. And then I also created extra layers of light and shadows around her. As you can see, I'm trying to create a shadow so it will be as if she is practically lying on the cloud itself, and the cloud is taking her to where she doesn't know.
Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! If they carry me, they go me, I don't know.
But then that's the fun of it. Who cares? So I went on to add some blur to the aeroplane. First of all, I used the motion blur, then the Gaussian blur, just a little bit. It is not so noticeable. And then I also put some filter to balance the colors a little bit. So I balanced the colors on the model and adjusted more layers, more colors with the photo filter layer and the selective color adjustment layers, and then some curves, of course, to make it more right with the light. And then I added exposure and brushed out the part I didn't want, just to add highlights to this area, because as you can see, that's the area that the sun is coming from, or the mega light, the global light is coming from in the main background. So I added that highlight there so that it will fit in, and then from that angle you can see that the sun is coming from there. And then I continue to work on the shadow because I was not satisfied with the initial one I did, and it was a little bit of back and forth, or probably so much back and forth in it, trying hard brush, trying soft brush, trying hard brush again, um, making the backgrounds or the borders of the hard brush soft, like feathering it and then reducing the opacity, and also adding some Gaussian blur to the layer mask so that it makes more sense. But then when I was kind of tired of doing that, I went ahead to crop the image to a 1:1 ratio image because I was feeling the 16:9 was just too wide. And then I started adding a trail of the train from the plane from the engine, but this time around it looked as if it was taking off, so I didn't want that. And when I tried so much to make the trail more realistic, it still looked as if it was taking off, so I decided to try more angles, and this is what we are doing here. And on a side note, I'm hearing plates, making sound. That means food is almost ready. So you are invited to come and join me and eat. I will not tell you the address, but if you can find it, you are welcome. The door is very open. Eat as much as you can. Actually, this was recorded a day after Christmas Day, so yeah, we are still celebrating. So I went ahead to add more adjustments after I got the angles of the airplane trail. Well, I added more adjustments, tried to readjust the background itself so that it fits in, and at a point I felt the angle of the image, the angle of the lady herself is not completely well, so I adjusted it and added more crop and then a background blur, a tilt shift to the background. That's a tilt shift background to the background, and then I downloaded this planet and this one as well and put it there. One is Mercury, one is Jupiter, but who cares which one it is? It's just an afterthought that came out at the end of when I was like, what is photo manipulation and cloud and skies without some planets hanging around? Like as you can see, this video is tagged unrealistic, so I try to make it as unrealistic as possible, but though not so crazy. But then so that's what I kind of did, and then in Mercury I adjusted it. It was a little bit of fight with the adjustment. As you can see, I am not someone who does this every day, every time, but then Photoshop knowledge is just Photoshop knowledge, realistic knowledge is just realistic knowledge, and you can try your best in the best of your knowledge to see what you can get, and that was what I did. So at the end of it we had this, and then I went to camera raw, and mind you that this camera raw wasn't the final result we got, because after it I looked and saw that there was something still missing, and I readjusted it. But here in camera raw, as you can see, I adjusted the colors, tried to match and blend in everything as it should be, or as I feel it should be, to the best that my eyes can see. As an artist, your eyes might not notice some things others didn't notice. Then I also saw that the Jupiter was not so good, so I rotated it and went back to camera raw to adjust a little few things then, and added some photo filter onto it, and probably I think that made it look better. And yes, I created another camera raw effect to it, and then tried to brush it out to see if I'm just here trying to see that it matches very well. It's not so visible, but it's not completely hidden or hard to see. So that is how we went on and on and on to get here. And then I found my logo, because after that I felt my logo should be on this building, so I took it and created it to be on this building after a little bit of adjustments here and there, back and forth, and trying to add a drop shadow which was unsuccessful. I decided to get rid of that, and then instead I duplicated the image and changed the one below to black and adjusted it to fit and reduced the opacity, and there we had that. And then I also put my logo on top of the aeroplane. It's not so visible, but then I did that. So here I am at the airplane, branding it to be mine, because it could be so one day. We keep dreaming someone could be the richest man in the world, and then you go back to some years ago and you see his YouTube video where he's just running crazy with his mouth. And we went back to camera raw yet again. Why do I keep on saying we instead of saying I? I don't do this when I'm talking to a client. I'm like, I'm going to help you design this, I'm going to help you achieve this in your business, in your design. But then when I'm creating a YouTube tutorial, I keep on saying we, probably because I feel that two of us are doing it at the same time. But well, even if you're not and you're just watching it for entertainment, this was how I created Unrealistic 1.0, as I would choose to call it, and I saved it.